It's corn maze season. I've been waiting to use that line. I know you've seen the TikTok videos, but on a serious note, farmers have been preparing for months for this time of year as they're about to see more people on the farm for fall festivities. Those runners are doing better than I am. I'm tired just watching them. Now we're at mile 11 at Concord Street. Hey everyone, Kristen Gallant here for WATE. I am at the Women's Spectacular and the event might be over, but you can still get in contact with a lot of these vendors. I am here with Amanda Hunt, who has Queen for the Day cleaning service. Tell me about your business. I'm so honored to speak with you. I am actually a Sevier County native myself.
Are you? Well,
yes, yes.
That's always good.
Absolutely. And so you talked about so much that is happening here at Dollywood this season. What is one of your most favorite projects that you're working on right now at Dollywood?
Well, actually, we're celebrating a couple of things this year. One being the Big Bear Mountain roller coaster, and we're excited about that. It goes into the Grove that we built a few years back, which was really tailor-made for families and friends, and the ride also is that. And then, of course, this autumn that we're going to be opening our big resort, our Heart Song Lodge and Resort. So we're excited about that. So we got all kinds of things going from now on, but those are the things we're celebrating. And this week, or this season, we're celebrating my 50th anniversary of my song, I Will Always Love You. So we're using that a little bit as a theme. I can't believe that song is 50 years old. I didn't even think I was that old.
You have worked on so many projects this past year, so many nominations as well that you have had. Does one in particular stand out to you?
Well, I'm just working on all kinds of things. I'm very excited right now. I'm working on my first rock and roll album that's going to come out in midsummer, early fall. And so I've got a lot of iconic singers, a lot of wonderful iconic songs on that. So I've been looking forward to that. And I'm actually doing a movie of the Run Rose Run book that I wrote with James Patterson. We've got a movie coming out of that. So we've got a lot of wonderful projects going on. I'm going to be a busy girl, and we're busy here at Dollywood for sure. We got a lot of great things coming up next year, and we plan all year long for what's going, to be happening for the next year. So my plate's full. My plate runs over.
Not only do you help people here in Sevier County, but across the country, across the world. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I think that once you get in a position to help, you should help. And it gives me a good feeling because I've been given so much in my own lifetime. I like being able to give back. And it gives me a good feeling to know that I can do something to help somebody else.
You do so much. What do you do to relax?
Well, can't you see I'm relaxed right now? Actually, I love my work, and that's just so much part of me because I am such a high energy person. If I didn't have something to do, I'd probably turn all that energy in on myself, and that wouldn't be good. So I think energy begets energy, and I always say I live on creative and spiritual energy anyway, and that's the truth. So I just love what I do, and I'll continue to do it as long as I'm able to.
I am standing right next to the world's fastest supercomputer, and it's right here in East Tennessee. I spoke to one of the scientists who pioneered this endeavor. 30 plus years at ORNL. Tell me what it was like when you first started and the developments over time.
Yeah, so I joined the lab as a postdoc in 1987. A completely different time. The lab didn't look anything like this. If you can imagine an old World War II kind of a place, turnstiles, barbed wire fence. And so the transformation that has occurred in the last 20 plus years of this laboratory has been impressive.
When it comes to things you can't see, how do you sell that?
I think it's all about impact, right? So there is not a thing in the world. I mean, if you live in the modern world, every human being is being touched by innovations from Oak Ridge National Laboratory, whether it is textbooks that you learn in classroom, the periodic elements, to materials, whether you are in a car, a plane, or a train, it has been touched by Oak Ridge Innovations.
So you've got the world's fastest supercomputer here at ORNL. You're not playing video games on it, or are you?
Well, I cannot tell anybody if we are playing video games or not, but no, actually our staff comes to work and really try to solve important problems like cure for cancer or COVID-related activities, developing new materials, studying climate and its impacts on humanity. So essentially solutions for the now and into the future.
From a personal level, what do you hope that you take away from this experience, your 35 years here, and what do you hope that you leave with your coworkers?
First of all, I take away that, leave with gratitude for the 35 years. I've always said this Oak Ridge National Laboratory has a soul. And what I mean by that is that each of us, when you build a 35-year career, we lead very, very real lives, and from time to time, you need the help from others. And this is an institution where our staff willingly support our coworkers. But what I really want to leave behind, if I have a message for my colleagues at this laboratory, is that we have an amazing, amazing heritage from, 80-year heritage from the Manhattan Project of not only scientific innovation, but also empowerment.
This is the world's fastest supercomputer, but Oak Ridge National Laboratory is always looking for new innovations. Their motto is Big Science, Big Impact. Andres Zaragoza Valdez is one of UT's student nursing ambassadors. He says his family's background is what motivates him to move forward in his college career and beyond.
My dad is from Mexico and my mom is from Guatemala. They came to Tennessee in 1993, I believe.
Both of Andre's parents moved to the United States when they were teenagers, knowing little English, but like many, having the American dream.
Antioch was still a growing Hispanic-speaking region, so they didn't have to worry too much about learning English, but come 1998, when my older brother was born, they started to actually try to learn English.
With English as his parents' second language, communication was more difficult in some situations than in others, like when Andre's younger brother had to be rushed to the emergency room when they were little.
Going to the emergency room for the first time was definitely a very scary experience, and seeing that there was large discrepancies in who was working and who was being treated, I wanted to, one, alleviate the minority male population in nursing, and two, provide an outlet for Spanish communities to get healthcare providers from people who look like them, who can speak Spanish, and who can ultimately give them more comfort.
Which is a big reason why he chose nursing as his degree. What do you hope to accomplish, both here at UT and just in general with your degree?
I mainly chose UT because it was a place of comfort. I'm hoping to set a precedent of sorts. Of course, there's those that have come before me. I know there's different upperclassmen of different backgrounds as well, but I'm really hoping to be a major driving force to bringing diversity to the nursing program at UT.
Andre says seeing other Hispanics represented was few and far between as he grew up.
As I progressed through schooling, I would see less and less people like me, and so it was a little harder to relate to the people in my immediate community or neighborhoods.
So when he heard that UT was celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, he was excited. To see all of this too and talking about the Hispanic culture, what does that mean to you?
It's important to stay in touch with cultural roots, to really remember why I'm here and how far I've been able to come as well as my people in the U.S. and just at UTK as a whole.
A photo of his grandfather sits in one of the displays. It's a reminder of where he comes from, and it brings him hope of where the future can lead.
Seeing more representation, seeing the minimization of health disparities in Spanish-speaking communities, Latinos communities, that would mean a lot to me.
I am back on the ground. It was an amazing experience, probably a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Now, Fat Albert is a C-130 aircraft, and so it is amazing in there. I'm still up in the clouds right now after coming down off of that flight.
You literally were in the clouds, and you disappeared in the clouds for a little while, and that was at the moment that you hit zero gravity. What did that feel like?
It felt like I was weightless. There was a point where, you go straight up in the air.
Yes.
And you literally just flew out of your seat. And then when you came back down, it felt like you were 230,000 pounds. You were so heavy.
Okay, that's pretty heavy.
You were so heavy until you went back up, and then, you hit that normal weight.
Now, I know a lot of people have experienced dizziness, a little bit of nausea. Some have passed out. How did you do?
Luckily, none of that hit me.
Okay.
I was pretty good. I'm pretty good on roller coasters, so
Okay.
it was kind of the same experience as being on a roller coaster. So I didn't get nauseous. I didn't, I didn't have any of that. So it was really nice. It just felt like a really cool roller coaster, one that once in a lifetime experience again.
Interesting you would say that because the boss of the Navy, Blue Angels, said yesterday operating one of those planes is like driving a roller coaster. So it was that turbulent. What surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most had to be the taking off. I thought we were going to go down a little bit further and go up gradually, but that's not what happened. It was just you were on the ground and then you weren't all of a sudden. So that was probably the most shocking thing. I was able to be in the cockpit with one other person that was right next to me, and all of a sudden we were just like, whoa, what just happened? So it took us a little while to get back on our feet because we did hit that zero gravity.
You did? That's amazing. How long was the flight? I tried to time it, but I was so immersed in trying to keep up with you and where the plane was.
I mean, it felt like it was a lifetime, but it was probably about 15 minutes or so that we were actually up in the air, and then we came back down. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Gallant. Thank you for joining us. Now, we begin tonight with continuing coverage at 6. A silver alert remains active for a missing Rutherford County man. Police are looking for 66-year-old Gregory Cook. Cook is 5'10", weighs 250 pounds, has balding black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen on December 8th wearing a blue baseball cap, blue hoodie, and black pants. Police believe he is traveling to Chattanooga. Authorities also say Cook has a medical condition that may make it harder for him to get home. If you have any information, you're asked to call the TBI. New details are being revealed after a man accused of killing Jasmine Pace in Chattanooga appeared in court. Investigators say Jason Chen's cell phone records led them to his girlfriend's remains. Pace was found inside a trash bag that was in a suitcase. A medical examiner says Pace was stabbed 60 times. A judge has placed a $5 million bond on Chen and said if Chen makes bail, he is required to stay under house arrest. Chen must also forfeit his passport. Hendersonville police have made their first arrest in what they think is a large scheme to steal diesel from gas stations. Police say people in a Chevy truck and U-Haul were working together. They're accused of drilling open gas pumps and installing a device known as a fuel manipulator, which tricks the computer into thinking it's pumping fuel at a much slower rate. Officers say they arrested 25-year-old Rolando Rodriguez at a gas station. Making history in East Tennessee. For the first time, 2 women were elected to be mayor and vice mayor in the city of Alcoa. And now that they are in office, we wanted to catch up with them. Tanya Martin, the first female elected to be mayor, and Tracy Cooper, the first female to be elected as vice mayor. Both Martin and Cooper are natives of Blount County. Martin was first elected in 2018 to the Board of Commissioners. Cooper started on the board back in 2020. Both say it's an honor to be a part of the city's history.
There's never been a woman vice mayor, never been a woman mayor. So yeah, that was a little exhilarating that night. I was much more excited for Tanya being the mayor.
For me to be mayor just sends a message to women everywhere. You too can be right where I am today. Did I ever expect it? No. Am I grateful? Yes.
Tonight at 11, we'll have more from these 2 women who talk about what they want to accomplish in their newly elected positions. 7 Tennessee families are still waiting for answers after their loved ones went missing. Several of the Clarksville area cases going cold for years. The incidents dating back to 1998, with the most recent happening in March 2020. Those missing disappearing when they were between the ages of 20 and 59. The one thing they all have in common is that they all vanished without a trace. If you have information about these cases, call Crime Stoppers at 931-645-TIPS.